introduction for you guys. Our new VP of Business Development, Tommy Moore.
Hey guys, it's Tommy with NPR Title with Tommy Talks Title Tuesday. Let's get into this.
Hey, guys, it's me. It's your girl, Tommy, with NPR Title, with Tommy Talks Title, the podcast. Well, again, I'm going to have to keep remembering to say that Tommy Talks, the podcast. We're still in the process of rebranding because I'm not talking about title anymore. I'm talking with partners in real estate. Today, we have a very special guest, but all of my guests are special, right? I'm a little partial. If you're on this show, you're special. All right. Well, I'm bringing with me today Lauren Dykes. She's based out of Atlanta, Texas. Atlanta, Texas. There is an Atlanta, Texas. Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm super excited to have her today. She is all things AI and technology. This week, I spoke with Supreme Lending for the business markets and marketing seminar, and I talked about ChatGPT. This week I also spoke with, or last week rather, I spoke with another AI company that specializes in title, and I wanted this to be all about AI, and I want us to really just start to adapting to the technologies and start using it in our day-to-day lives. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Lauren up and I'll have her to introduce herself, and let's just get into it. Hello, Lauren.
Hi, Tommy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
No, I'm just honored that you even accepted my DM.
Oh, of course. Well, I was looking around on your LinkedIn and it was so interesting. I thought I have to talk to her.
Oh,
So
thank
I'm
you.
very excited to be
Yes,
speaking with
thank
you.
you.
Of
Thank you. Well, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Again, this is
course.
gonna be a conversation between us girls.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Let's get
just
it.
feel free. Like if you even want the
Mhm.
conversation to go left, we can go left if you like. But
Okay.
tell me a little about yourself. Because I had
Mhm.
recognized your name from another place, but
Yeah.
and so when I
Mhm.
saw your name and saw that my boss Jerry was already connected with you, I was like, wait a minute, I've seen
Yeah.
her name in my inbox before. So I felt
Yeah.
like I already knew you. So, and I just appreciate, your warmth, your
Oh.
zen. Like I absolutely love it.
Well, I credit the Zen to all of the yoga I do. But I went to the University of Alabama. I majored in economics, finance, and psychology. And yes, I am connected with Jerry through my last job that I was at.
Yes.
I've been in startups for a couple years now, and I my favorite thing about Jerry is she was also such a warm person.
Yeah,
So
she
eloquent,
is.
well spoken, and I thoroughly enjoyed working with her.
Yeah, she is a sweetheart. Like it's actually coming up on
Mhm.
our 1 year anniversary on January the not January. What's wrong
Wow.
with me today? Like, I can't even
It's
get my word out.
Friday.
January,
It's
June
Friday.
the 12th. And start with a J, same thing.
Wow. Yeah.
I met her last June. Actually
Mhm.
was an event that she had sponsored, and I was asked
Oh,
to speak. I
wow.
worked at another title company,
Mhm.
and like she was so warm, and like literally afterwards we just
Mhm.
clicked, and I was like, it only makes sense that I
Oh.
come and work with you. It only makes sense. So, and we're
Oh,
going
that's
on a
wonderful.
year, and so I'm so excited. So
Congratulations.
thank
That's a
you,
big
thank you.
milestone. 1 year.
1 year, like to have a female
Yeah.
boss. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, but she is absolutely wonderful,
She is.
absolutely
She
wonderful.
is.
But let's see. Let's get into it. I gotta
Mhm.
I gotta dig in your
All
business a little
right.
bit, and
All right.
because
Here we
your
go.
business, your business model
Mhm.
is AI. So
It
tell me a
is.
little about
Yes.
a bit. Yes. So tell me a little bit about your background and
Of
what made you
course.
become interested in AI.
So I have always wanted to build something. I have always been one of those people that wants to change the world. I didn't want just a
Right.
job, I wanted a career. And actually, how I got involved with Foyer is kind of a personal story. So when I was in college, I was 1,000 miles away from home, right? And I was looking for a new apartment. And my
Okay.
mother, I am her only child, and she had some strong opinions about these apartments that I was looking at. And
Okay.
I was sending her photos, I was sending her videos, and she just was not satisfied. She ended up getting on a plane and coming down to Alabama to look at these apartments with me. And that's because the visual representations that she was getting of these apartments were not satisfactory.
Okay.
Fast forward, I'm looking for apartments in Atlanta. Same thing. These leasing offices are sending me low resolution photos, and it was so hard to make a decision. I had to come out to Atlanta and spend my time touring these places in person to make a
Right.
decision. And at this point, AI is starting to gain traction. I know you said you've been studying AI for a long time before it did have that momentum,
Yes.
but I had experienced the frustration of trying to find a place to live and build my life and doing this out of state.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't get a good visual representation. And so when a colleague in the real estate industry introduced me to Andrew Sidhu,
Okay.
and Andrew told me about his products, I was so intrigued. I knew I
Okay.
wanted to be a part of it because AI is going to change the world.
Right. It has
And
already.
I it already has. This has
Yes.
already started. And so in 5, 10, 20 years, I want someone to look back on my project and say, that was the catalyst for this change
Absolutely.
in this industry. And
Absolutely.
yeah, bit of a long-winded explanation, but I hope I answered
No,
your
no, I
question.
love it because I love to hear, like, the backstory of it. I mean, because when I tell my
Yeah.
story on how I got into AI,
Mhm.
because it's kinda, like, self-proclaimed, because I didn't go to school
Yeah.
for it. Like,
Mm.
I tried to major in technology, but I couldn't pass the damn
Mhm.
algorithms class. I couldn't
Those
pass.
are tough.
I was
Those
like,
are a
"Yeah,
bear.
I don't get it." Like,
Mhm.
I remember, like,
Yeah.
taking I was in a it was like we had a group project
Mhm.
where we were to build a data center, like a virtual
Mhm.
data center, and they gave us, like, all the specifications, everything that it needed,
Mhm.
and all this sounds techie,
Yeah.
but I'm not techie at all.
Mhm.
But I was literally like, "Nope, I can drive this, I can do it." Well,
Yeah.
but it only stemmed from I was working at a law firm,
Mhm.
Littler Mendelson, and we
Mhm.
actually had our own data center. It was headquartered at the time in San
Wow.
Francisco, and so
Mhm.
I knew from experience how the model actually worked for you to have a data
Mhm.
center, and so I built it based on my experiences with my current job, and
Wow.
because, I saw it and I put it together and I had the whole team and I was like, "No, just follow my lead on
Mhm.
this," and which
Mhm.
I ended up doing the whole project by myself. But I realized at that moment that I'm not the one that's behind the scenes. I'm the one that can
Mhm.
help you, like,
Mhm.
mind map
Mhm.
it, data map it, like, this is how it works.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
fast forward all of these years later, like, when I have these conversations with people, they're like, "What?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." I was like, my major
Mhm.
in 2012, I was trying to finish my undergrad and it was
Mhm.
IT, but I had to change my major because I
Yeah.
could not pass algorithms. Yeah. So
Tricky course. It is
yeah.
quite the bear.
Right, but it's even then we still weren't studying AI.
Mhm.
AI was it came
Yeah.
from just my like because I worked at the law
Mhm.
firm, like trying to find like a bigger and better solution for like me having to create SQL queries to find a key
Yeah.
search term when
Yeah.
I thought the technology that we were
Mhm.
using actually worked. So
Yeah,
so it's
AI is the
interesting.
tool. It is. AI is the tool that allows all of us to do our jobs better. It's not going to
Right.
replace us. It makes us
Yes.
better at what we do. And I think the change it's already enacting on the world is so fascinating.
It is, and that's when I was, speaking on, last week,
Yeah.
I was telling them like, "Hey, listen, embrace it. It's already a part of your life, and you
Yes.
don't even
It
realize
is
it."
here.
And they're like,
Exactly.
"What?" So I started naming all these
Mhm.
AI tools and, that
Yeah,
we use in
yeah.
our daily lives. I was like,
Mhm.
we've got I don't wanna say her name too
Mhm.
loud because then she'll hear me. And
No.
she's like and then we've got,
Yeah.
Google Home, we've got
Yes,
Siri on our
exactly.
phones.
Exactly.
And my presentation was about, the cartoon
Mhm.
that predicted the future. Well, the
Yeah.
Jetsons actually,
Mhm.
they let us
Good.
know how it was gonna be, but,
Mhm.
we're actually living in it. And another example that I gave
Yeah.
is back in the day, and Lauren, you're probably too young for this, but it's just like maybe, maybe not.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
When you would catch a flight, you'd have to like tell somebody like, "Oh, I'm about to get on the plane," and you wouldn't hear from them until you arrived. And then you'll be
Yes.
lucky sometimes to be on a
Mhm,
flight that
mhm.
had Wi-Fi, but that wasn't all the time. But
Yes,
now
it
it's
was not a
becoming
common
more and more like
thing.
common for airlines to have, a Wi-Fi the entire time. I was
Oh yeah,
watching.
Delta just rolled out
Yes.
their new high-speed Wi-Fi on all of their flights.
Yes. I was
Let me
just
tell
about
you,
to
it
say
works
that.
great. It works
Yes.
great. I just got back from a work trip and I I had so many things to do and I thought, I guess we're gonna find out if this Delta Wi-Fi is as good as they say it is. And you know what? Game changer.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
like, as back in the day, like you'd be like, hey, if you are flying over 3 hours, like to be
Mhm.
dead on, not oh Lord, that's not a good word to say, but to be like, no
Okay.
communication
I know. I
while
know.
you're on an airline for 3 hours and it's your work day, you've lost three
Oh my
hours.
gosh. I know. I know. And the world doesn't stop for anyone. So then you're scrambling to catch up or you're trying to prepare in advance. And this is what, I really hope people start to understand is AI is not malicious. It is
No.
here to help us. And I think we have that perception. We have Hollywood to thank for that, right? All of those
Oh yeah.
movies like Ex Machina, Terminator, people harbor this fear of AI, but there's nothing to be fearful about. It will only make your life more efficient, better, streamlined. It is here to advance us to the next
Mhm.
level in our lives.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And I absolutely love it. So I keep becoming more excited with each and every AI technology that's created.
It's
So
fascinating.
that's a great time to
Hmm.
segue into
Hmm.
Foyer.AI. So tell
Yeah.
me like so tell me like about Foyer.ai and how or why was it brought to life?
So in 2019, Andrew Sidhu, my co-founder, he went through a similar experience that I talked about in the beginning, the
Oh yeah,
frustration
uh-huh.
of finding, yeah, he
Right.
was he was looking to buy a home, and he is also a person that values efficiency, and he is very busy, and he was wasting all this time going through these image galleries, looking at repetitive photos, taking a chance and driving out to see these homes and they don't have what he wanted. And he had seen one home with
Okay.
a 3D tour. And he was interested and dug in to find out why more listings didn't have 3D tours. The reason
Mm,
is because it is so expensive. It is so expensive to get a 3D tour made, and real estate agents can't do it themselves. They have to hire a
right.
technician. It takes almost a week to get the result. And it is so expensive that it is segregated to the top 15% of homes on the market, that upper echelon, those very expensive
Wow.
homes. And so Andrew said, I'm going to fix this. So he started building Foyer. And the goal and the way that we utilize AI, we are able to keep our product at such a low cost that every single real estate agent is able to use Foyer AI to create a 3D tour for their listing. So it's an app-based product,
Okay.
and this is where I got so interested, right? Because
Okay.
I'm focused on making that lasting change, having that project that is the catalyst to lasting change.
Right.
And Foyer's product utilizes AI for object detection and for putting together
Mm,
this 3D model.
okay.
It keeps the cost so low, it is $20 a month, and
Okay.
an agent can create a 3D tour of a home that they're listing in under 30 minutes on their iPhone. So, our
Huh.
mission is to give every single agent in the world the ability to create a 3D tour for every single listing. We will permanently remove that pricing barrier to 3D tours. And that only benefits the industry, it only benefits consumers. It enables them to
Right.
make smarter, faster, more efficient, and more informed decisions. And the more knowledge you have, the more comfortable you feel about your decision. I
Yeah,
get really
that makes sense.
passionate about this.
No, I
So
love it. I'm actually like, I keep looking down because I'm pulling up the app and looking, and even like the demo
oh,
that's within the
good.
application,
Yeah.
right?
hmm
Of
hmm
just seeing how it's like you're there, and then
It
yeah,
is.
we
Exactly.
say the word 3D, right? And
hmm
it puts you in the mindset of
hmm
going to see a 3D movie. Nah, and that's not
Yeah.
really what I'm looking
hmm
at right here.
hmm
From the picture, the image that's there, it's like you're
hmm
physically in the room. Kinda
Exactly.
like virtual
Exactly.
reality over 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, it's
Very similarly.
yeah, and so I like to I love to visualize myself, like, this means paint a
Me too.
picture so I can see it,
Me too.
and
Me
give me the
too.
backstory on it, that way I can
hmm
imagine it.
hmm
And just how I'm seeing, like, the demo, like, yeah, it might be a 3 it
hmm
says generation next gen 3D
hmm
dollhouses, like, no, you're actually
Yeah.
there. And
It is so
especially, like,
cool.
folks in Texas, we've got a lot of folks
hmm
that's moving from California,
Exactly.
and
And when
they
people are moving
continue.
out of state, they
Yes, they
want
wanna know what
they
they're getting themselves into.
yes, they can't just hop on a plane to go see every house that
Yeah,
they're interested in. The world doesn't work like that. And what I
right.
love about the real estate industry is there is such an emotional attachment to it
Yes, absolutely.
because homes are where you live your life. It's where you build a family. It's your heart. And
Right.
being able to enable people to really feel comfortable about finding the right home for
Sure.
them, that's
Absolutely.
what I love so much about being at Foyer and being a co-founder and knowing
No, I
that
love that.
we will forever change the way people are able to buy, sell, and list
Oh,
homes.
yeah, absolutely. I had with several agents that I know that, they take their iPhones
Mhm,
out, and, especially if it's,
mhm,
let's say, I had one particular agent, she had
mhm,
a celebrity client where she
mhm,
had the agent to go out and, like,
mhm,
video
mhm,
the home,
mhm.
and I'm thinking now, like, had she had Foyer.AI, the
Exactly.
client would have bought that house because you had to be there to
Exactly.
experience it. Because yes, you can
Mhm,
say, "Oh my gosh, it was absolutely beautiful,"
mhm.
but, just taking just a regular video of it, like, that's not
Yeah.
gonna do it justice, especially if you
Mhm.
really want to, like, have a compelling,
Exactly.
advantage,
Yes.
in
Yes.
this market especially,
And
and
you need
especially
to be
for a
able to
virtual tour.
understand yeah, you need to be able to understand the dimensions of the home, how it flows together. And
Right.
a video photos are good, videos are good, but a 3D tour is better.
It's much better, yes. I can
Mhm.
definitely say that.
Yeah.
Uh, well, can you explain to our listeners, just how do you think, Foyer.AI is gonna transform, the industry? I mean, I get the 3D
Yeah.
tours, but,
Mhm.
I haven't seen anything like it. So, tell me,
No.
how do you think it's gonna transform the industry?
It's incredibly exciting because, yes, 3D tours already exist, but
Right.
we are the first to make it accessible to everyone. You
Okay.
don't need to be an agent selling $1,000,000 homes to be able to create a 3D tour for your listing. And historically, that's what it's always been. You need technicians, all of this extra equipment, and agents pay out of pocket
Right.
for marketing that they do for these listings. And so it will no longer be the agents that are selling homes in Los Angeles,
Sure,
in
sure.
Miami, that are only doing the 3D tours. It will be every single agent in every single town, county, city. If you have an iPhone, you can create this 3D tour. As I mentioned earlier, we are removing that pricing barrier.
I love it, I love it. So you
Mhm,
said iPhone a couple of times.
mhm.
So
Yes.
why iPhone?
Mhm. So it's actually really interesting
I mean, because
how
I have an
iPhone
iPhone. I don't care if nobody
yeah,
else
yeah,
uses
yeah.
it, but
I have an iPhone I have an iPhone too, and, you do need an iPhone Pro because of the LiDAR sensor. The 3D output relies on the LiDAR sensor, but the reason it's an iPhone is because the way that every iPhone camera's tracking works is
Okay.
the same. But with Android, there are so many different types of Androids. There are hundreds of thousands of different tracking programs
Makes
and
sense.
mechanisms for those phone cameras.
Okay.
So we it is going to be a little while before we are able to develop an Android app because, quite
Sure, sure.
honestly, the technology for
Right.
those phone cameras is not there yet.
Yes,
They
absolutely.
all have their own way that the camera tracking works. And so once it becomes a more cohesive
Sure.
software program that those Android cameras use, then we can develop an app for them. Right now,
Makes sense.
it's iPhone because all iPhone cameras utilize the same tracking.
No, I love it. I love it. I mean,
Mhm.
'cause, I mean, I even know, like, there was a when I trying to develop an app some years
Mhm.
ago, like, I was having some difficulty with with the Android, so,
Oh.
yeah, I don't even touch
Yeah.
it. Alright, so,
Mhm.
let's see, what are some companies that you've recently partnered with, or if
Mhm.
you can even share that? Because I would definitely
Yeah,
love,
of
like, I
course.
touch that's,
Mhm.
like, who I market to. I market to real estate
Of
agents and
course.
brokers, but what
Mhm.
are some,
Mhm.
who have you partnered with recently?
Well, we are very, very excited about two of our most recent brokerage partnerships. One of them is Drake Realty here in
Okay,
Atlanta. They
yeah.
have been doing this for over 30 years. They have over 700 agents, and they are one of the most respected brokerages here in Atlanta.
Wow.
And we also just partnered with Hardy Realty and Development.
Okay.
And we are especially excited about that because they are part of leading real estate companies of the world.
I
So
love
they are
it.
both very prestigious brokerages that we are very excited about. And what I love about directly partnering with a brokerage is I have better, and I hope this doesn't sound salesy, but I have better access to their agents. It's more direct. Their
Sure,
agents
sure.
know who I am. So when I call them or come to a sales meeting or I send them an email, they know it's going to be relevant to them. So
Right,
they get more
right.
excited. They're more interested about the product. We form better relationships. And it's actually so exciting because they will do a tour of a listing and they get so excited. They send it to me. They go, look at this.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of it. I can't wait to share it with my clients. So what I love about the brokerage partnership, in conclusion, is it allows it to be a more personal experience.
No, I love it. I mean, as you know by now, I'm like truly passionate about like implementing technologies.
Mhm.
NPR
Yes.
title, we do have some technologies in house.
Mhm.
We don't have any AI just yet, but it's because of the systems that we have in place they aren't equipped to be
Mhm.
integrated with some of the AI tools.
Mhm.
But I'm, working almost kind of around the clock to figure out like what works, and even if it doesn't work for us, how can I help our partnering, relationships? And like when even I when we were, when we spoke just briefly
Yes.
last week, I wanted to like know like, okay, well, how can I help? Well,
Of
yeah, I can
course.
introduce it to real
Mhm.
estate agents and
Mhm.
especially the ones
Mhm.
who I know that go out with their phones. But because
Mhm.
I'm talking about AI in my business and they see that I'm passionate about it and that I know
Mhm.
what I'm
Mhm.
talking about and I'm not just out here like, going on ChatGPT
Yeah.
to find writing a script
Yeah.
on what to say.
Exactly.
It actually
Mhm.
comes from experience and knowledge. But I would love, like, I mean, if you're coming to Dallas and we can like host an
Mhm.
event, for those
That would be
brokerages because
so fun.
I'm helping them to see like the value in it and
Yes.
what better way to do it than to say, "Hey,
Mhm.
we're having an event, and we're gonna
Mhm.
teach you how to use it," and then they can see,
Mhm.
for themselves in person. Yeah, I
Mhm.
can share the app all day long, but when
That
you're
would be
here,
so
they would be like,
fun.
"Oh my gosh," like, it's
I
just
would love to
revolutionary.
do that. I love doing, things in person like that, and also, I think the hardest part in the beginning, it's just getting the word out.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have this great product, but it's all about getting the word out and getting people to become aware of it. Once they see it and use it, I mean, they get so excited, and I love to see their excitement. So if we did something in person like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that would be so fun. We'll have
It
to
would be.
coordinate that.
Yes, we should. And, what I was
Mhm,
telling, like, I think at the presentation I did a couple of weeks ago,
mhm,
I, like, listed all the companies that already use AI, in which a lot
mhm,
of folks, a lot of agents, they hate
mhm.
for, anybody to, like, bring up, like, Zillow the Zestimate. And
Yeah,
I'm
touchy
like,
word.
and I'm like, hate it or love it, they've been using AI since 2006, like,
Yep, they have.
and I was like, these pictures that you guys are taking and you posting them
Mhm,
online, they're using
mhm,
those pictures. I was like, so they've been very
mhm.
smart in using what's already available, and
Yeah.
I said, okay. I said, they haven't been successful in some things. I said, but in other ways they
Mhm,
have. So when
mhm,
you Google, a
mhm.
particular address, what comes up first, and
Exactly.
so I'm like, so adopt it because it's been
Yeah.
forced on you anyway. And
It has. I mean, the real estate industry is slow to catch on with new things. I think in
I
part
said that a lot. I
because
say that every week, girl,
yeah,
every week.
yeah, it is such an old industry, and when I say old, I mean
Yeah.
humans have been trading in real estate before fiat currency was invented. And it is, in fact, to use
Yeah.
that adage, it is difficult to teach an old dog new tricks. But I think this old dog is learning new tricks. The
It's
the
learning new tricks,
industry,
and
it
whether it's
is.
by force or force of nature,
It's
like
happening.
it's
It's
happening.
happening.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
happening.
The
I was
train is here. It's gonna leave the station. Everyone is going to be
exactly.
on board if they want to stay competitive.
Exactly. What I was telling
Mhm.
them yesterday, I was like, I remember actually, I don't necessarily remember when the internet was like implemented,
Mhm.
but it was
Mhm.
1995.
Yeah.
And I was a sophomore in high school. Now, I
Mhm.
didn't use the internet probably until I
Mhm.
got to college,
Yeah,
which was like 2 years later because we didn't have a need for it and the accessibility of it wasn't as easy. You
exactly.
had to go to the
Mhm.
library to do it. That's a whole
Yeah,
thing. When's the
yeah.
last time I've been to the library? But it wasn't a whole event. But
Uh-huh.
now I was like, we use the internet every single day.
All the time.
Every single day.
Yes.
And I was like, and
Yes.
that's what AI is. I said,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
don't think you use it every day, but you use it
But you
every
do.
single day. And
You
you
do,
just
and
have to
kids
accept it.
yes. Yeah, these days, kids grow up with iPads in their
Oh
hands.
my
The
gosh, yes.
world is digital,
Yes,
and people crave digital prowess, digital immediacy,
absolutely.
and AI has been around for far longer than people realize, but
Oh,
now,
yes.
you new exciting tools like Vision AI and Chat GPT that people are really starting to be aware of how integrated AI already is in the world.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Let's see, let me come up with another question to ask you.
Okay.
Let's see. Um Yeah, because obviously it's real estate, and
Mhm,
this week or last week we had the market numbers to
mhm,
change and all of that, and which
mhm,
at the conference they were talking about the business seminar they were talking about
mhm,
just the numbers and what's predicted this summer, which
mhm,
was really exciting. So agents, if you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, like
mhm,
know that what we've experienced is that's it's going to improve, but where your
mhm,
money is listings.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
get your
yeah.
listing because otherwise you're pushing a ball uphill, and
Mhm,
you're just kind of waiting to see what happens. But like with the technologies like Foyer.AI, you can be a thought leader, what
exactly.
like, they could be someone that especially like you said, in Atlanta, there's 2 brokerages
Mhm,
that uses, the
mhm,
technologies now as a whole.
mhm.
What could
Yes.
you how which we'll do this in person, but just for the sake
Mhm,
of this podcast, how how could you add value to them just like from a virtual, presence of,
of
this is
course.
what you need because
Mhm,
like, time is not gonna slow down, and we need folks to
mm-mm,
get out there, start using the
mhm.
technologies and getting ahead of the game. I
Absolutely.
know that was a lot to get
Mhm.
there, but
Oh,
my
no, you're
my
fine.
mind was
You're
just
fine.
churning.
Yeah, no,
Does
you're
that make sense?
fine. Something I've always prided myself on is I'm very accessible, right? I'm
Okay.
always going to answer phone calls, etc. And I don't Foyer is not a product that you have to have an in-person office meeting about.
Right.
Um, go on the website, check our LinkedIn, give me a call. I'm more than happy to chat about it, because what Foyer is going to do for agents is it is going to allow them to differentiate themselves and
Yes.
really stand out, especially if they're an early adopter. Because as I
Yes.
said, at one point, every listing in the world will have a Foyer tour.
Uh-huh.
And that's because we've made it so affordable, so intuitive, and so valuable. If agents are early adopters right now, they are going to stand out in their industry.
Exactly.
They will leave a lasting impression on
Yes.
their peers, on their clients. And in real estate, I think agents often experience a lot of returning clients. So you build that
Right.
relationship, et cetera. And by leaving a really valuable impression on clients, especially if they are providing a Foyer tour, those clients are going to come back to them. They will never forget them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and that's, like, why I'm even, like, telling the teaching, like, I'm like, "Yeah, I can teach you ChatGPT and, the
Mm-hmm.
way to use it in different ways
Mm-hmm.
than how
Mm-hmm.
other agents are just, like, coming up with
Mm-hmm.
basic prompts," and I was like, "But no,
Mm-hmm.
use it till its full advantage in order, like,
Yes.
to create
Yes.
campaigns, in order to,
Mm-hmm.
build your website, in order to, like,
Mm-hmm.
create a chat
Exactly.
box to answer,
Yes.
like it's you." I
Yes.
was like, "Don't just use it to come up with a response
Mm-hmm.
to a question. Use
Mm-hmm.
it till its full advantage." And I said, "And
Mm-hmm.
then you become a
Yes.
thought leader, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and then."
Exactly.
Yes, and then with using Foyer, like, they will
Mm-hmm.
definitely, people are gonna start, like,
Mm-hmm.
looking like, "Oh, well, what is this
Exactly.
tool that they're using?"
Mm-hmm.
And start following them, for tips and
Exactly.
advice on especially on adopting technologies to help them within their
Oh,
business.
yeah. Absolutely. It's important to be brave, and it's important to be excited about trying new things. The best way to learn is by doing.
Yes, I absolutely love it. Well, Lauren,
Mhm.
I told you the time flies by, like, it doesn't even
It
seem like it's been
does.
that long, right?
No,
Every
it feels
single
like
time
we
I
just
say this
started.
on every podcast, it doesn't seem like it seems
Mhm.
like we've only been on the phone for, like, 20
I
minutes,
know.
and then
Well,
next thing you
it's
know.
been so fun to speak with you. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
No,
Thank you
I
so
enjoyed
much for
speaking with you
having
too.
me.
Again, like, I can feel your zen,
Yeah.
you got me all calm, like
Oh, I
Imma have to
credit
try
the
some yoga.
yoga.
I'm gonna
It
have to try
is
some
so
yoga.
fun.
Well, tell me this, as we begin to
Mhm.
wrap up, are there
Sure.
any new updates or any additions to Foyer that you guys are planning on
Mhm.
implementing?
Mhm. Yes, I can't speak to exactly what it
Okay,
is
okay,
yet,
yeah. Uh-huh.
but my co-founder, Andrew, is very creative. He is
Okay.
always making something new, and within the next coming months, Foyer users are going to be very excited about what we
Okay.
launched.
Well,
So
that's
that's all I can
exciting.
say
No,
right
I
now.
love it. Like, keeps me on the edge. Well, like, what? Stay tuned.
Exactly, exactly.
Like, download and find out, like
Exactly. And what I love about technology is it's always growing and it's always evolving.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And when I was
Mhm.
telling folks yesterday, like, even about using ChatGPT, like you said, like the early adopters, like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're kind of even used as a test subject,
Mhm.
beta testing to see like
Yeah.
if it works,
Mhm.
use it,
Mhm.
till its full capacity and try to break it.
Oh,
And when
absolutely.
it breaks, call Lauren,
Absolutely.
be like, yep, it didn't work,
Yeah.
and then, but, she'll take it as constructive
Exactly.
criticism and go
Of
back, have the
course.
developers to help to like make
Mhm.
it,
Of
work
course. When
faster
something
and much
like that
better.
happens, it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you break ChatGPT, I guarantee you those developers want to know about that because then they
Yeah.
can make it better. And also,
Yes.
AI, it learns continuously. So the more
Exactly.
people use an AI product, the smarter it's going to get. And when I say smarter, I don't mean to alarm people. It will not
No,
take over
no.
the world. But it, especially with something like ChatGPT, it's generative AI. So the more it's
Right.
used, the more it learns, the better it is.
Yeah. And you know what I try to explain to my son, like
Mhm.
Google Home, but I don't have that because if I
Mhm.
say her name, she's gonna respond. But
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
like, I said, "It's so smart that it recognizes voices."
Exactly.
And
It
I was
didn't start
like,
out
"It's
that
a
way. It
language
had to learn
model.
that.
It's
Mhm. Yep.
Rosie. It's Rosie."
Yes,
Like,
it is.
the only thing it doesn't is it doesn't have feelings, so it
Mhm.
can't tell you about a feeling. It doesn't have emotional
Exactly.
intelligence, but it's a
Mhm.
language model.
It is.
So it's constantly learning our behaviors,
It is.
our patterns, and like, cause I even have mine set up. Like it says when it hears water running to start
Mhm.
playing
Mhm.
certain type of music because like
Mhm.
it's learning our habits because I play music all the time
Absolutely.
anyway. So
Mhm.
if we don't adopt it, if
Mhm.
we don't like
Mhm.
it's learning us. But that's not a bad thing because if we're doing
No,
the
it's
same
not.
things every single day, my auntie, I'm from a small town in Texas called Longview, Texas. It's about
Mhm.
100,000 people. It's kind of like a suburb,
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
every single morning she makes a pot of coffee.
Mhm.
I've bought
Mhm.
her all types of coffee pots that will
Mhm.
start her coffee for her every morning.
Mhm.
And she
Mhm.
refuses to allow the coffee pot to make her coffee. She just likes to do it. But for a person it's like,
That
"Oh, I
routine.
gotta get up and, I have to get
Yeah.
up and make this pot of coffee," but or I don't drink coffee, but I love the smell of it. So to even, like, set
Yes.
it for it to, like,
Uh-huh.
at 5:30 in the morning and it starts brewing and, and let
Mhm.
that be your
Mhm.
alarm clock, it's the
Yes.
automation of things. Like
Exactly, and now I
who
do drink coffee, and I
Uh-huh.
make sure my coffee maker has my coffee made by the time I wake up because I'm not a morning person. I have to
Ah!
force myself to be a morning person. I love my 6 a.m. yoga once I'm there, but getting myself there
I
requires a
know,
Herculean
right?
effort. So if I know when I'm awake, my coffee's already ready, I'm more likely to get out of
Exactly. But
bed.
it's just the automation of things, right? And it's just
Exactly,
become
exactly,
more and more and more, what's the word?
exactly.
Common that we have things
Mhm,
that are automated and using the
exactly.
technologies, AI
Mhm,
learning our behaviors.
mhm.
I mean, when I
Exactly.
get in my phone when I get on my car
Mhm.
at a certain time, Google will like
It's
predict where
you.
I'm
It
going
knows where you're
anywhere.
going. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, no,
Recently,
I'm
yeah,
not going there with your nosy tail. I'm
yes,
not going there.
yes. So that's also the other thing is AI is brilliant, but be sure to proofread anything you get from
Yes,
ChatGPT.
absolutely.
It's not going to be right all the time.
Right.
I was traveling a lot recently. Google Maps keeps thinking I'm going to the airport, but this morning it did not give me the airport suggestion. It took a couple
Okay.
days, but
Nice. I
hold
love
on.
it. No, but that's smart. That you definitely have to
Mhm.
proofread it. I even put a disclaimer
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
my like my what do you call my landing page about
Yeah.
ChatGPT, like
You have to.
understand that, don't rely heavily on
Mhm.
it, if you have any questions, check the fair
Mhm.
housing rules, like,
Yes.
don't
Exactly.
for
Exactly.
discrimination, don't do this, don't do
Mhm.
that. Because yes, you can, put some information in there and it'll return some data, but you don't want
Mhm.
to misuse it. Don't use it, to misrepresent
Exactly.
the industry or anything.
Mhm.
So
Exactly, and it doesn't have the ability to register or understand emotion, so it might
right.
give you an output that has content that might be incendiary to some people.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
use it, but proofread it, please.
Yes, I love it. Was there anything else you wanna, add about Foyer.AI? I have your email address here, how
Yeah,
they can
that's
reach you.
me. Of course, please reach out to me, send me a LinkedIn message, give me a call. I love to chat. And Tommy, it was such a pleasure to speak with you.
No, it's a pleasure to
Genuinely.
speak with you as well. I truly appreciate you. No, you're super sweet. I just absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to see just what Foyer.ai has in store.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to do a 3D tour of my
Please
apartment home to
do.
see
Mhm.
what it looks like and then share it with
Please
someone.
do.
But that's the
Mhm.
only way we're gonna learn is to use it, right? So,
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it.
Couple tips real quick. Close all your blinds, turn on all the lights. That way you don't get weird shadows. And that way the AI doesn't render the world outside your window.
I love that,
So close the blinds, turn on the lights. Don't scan anything more than once. One pass
Okay.
scanning is best. Otherwise, the AI will build layers upon layers, and that looks really weird. So don't
Okay,
go over
got you.
anything more than once.
I
And that's
love it.
it.
Thank you. Okay, got you. Well, I gotta ask you this one last question. I said
Of
35
course.
minutes.
Of
Now we're
course.
at
I
40
know.
minutes
I
because
know.
I'm a part of Anita Borg Institute, Women in Technology, and because you are a woman in
Yes.
technology,
Yes.
this is so exciting.
Mhm.
I would like I mean, you are the co-founder
Yes, ma'am.
and director of sales for a new AI company. That's
Yes, ma'am.
huge,
Very
huge.
excited. I love what I
So,
do.
and you appear to be much younger than I am. So that is, it's, you are a role model for lots of young women that are trying
Thank
to get into
you.
this industry. So,
Thank
are there
you.
any like words that you would like to give to, let's say, young
Mhm.
girls that are
Of
recent
course.
graduates
Mhm.
who are
Mhm.
trying to break into the tech
Of
industry,
course.
so they can one day too, be
Of course.
co-founder and director of
Mhm.
sales at some technology company?
I would say be brave, be courageous, be kind, be willing to learn, and trust in your own intelligence.
I love that. I
Mhm.
love that, Lauren. That is great advice.
Thank
Girl,
you.
young girl came and spoke to me at a
Mhm.
networking event, Anita
Mhm.
Borg networking event here in Dallas a
Mhm.
couple of weeks ago. And I was telling her about my small business marketing plus,
Mhm.
I do marketing
Mhm.
plus AI
Mhm.
strategy consulting. And she was like, "Well, are you
Mhm.
hiring?" I'm like, "No, baby, it's just me." And she was like, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
not hiring yet?" And I'm like, "No." I said, "No, I'm just really kind of beginning." And she was
Yeah.
like, "Well, you know a lot. Your sounds like your company is a lot larger than that." But to even have like for her to give that feedback, I was like,
Mhm.
"Wow, like
Mhm.
wow, we are really making an impact because we're in spaces
Yeah.
that they're trying to
Yes.
imagine themselves in." And,
Exactly.
like you're the co-founder, you have to go out there and create it. Because
Mhm.
if it's not
You
there,
do.
create it.
Someone has to do it first, and it feels be brave about it. Someone
Yeah.
always has to do it first. It's okay to say you don't know something. Someone can
Yes.
help you. Find someone to help you learn the answers to those questions, and you don't have to do it alone. There are people that are going to want to partner with you. Andrew's
Yes.
not a solo founder, neither am I. We're a team.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I
mhm.
always tell people never go at it alone. Now, I might be
No.
doing my business alone, but I have so many people that support
Yes.
me that I'm not
Exactly.
alone, in which
Exactly.
I do plan to bring on like, folks that are like sales engineers and people
Of
who
course.
understand like the business
Mhm.
process because the
Mhm.
more, I'm talking to Lauren and, talking to other
Yeah.
organizations, like we may spin off to do something completely different because of these type of
Exactly.
conversations, like what's needed in the marketplace, right?
Mhm. Exactly.
All right. Well, I have
Exactly.
talked you to death, and I I really,
I
really
loved
appreciate
it.
you and your time.
My pleasure.
We definitely need to plan when we're gonna have the in-person event.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
hold
Yes,
on
ma'am.
for me so we can go ahead and like get some dates together.
I will. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Tommy.
much. Thank you. Hold on for me just a second. Woo! What an amazing guest. I absolutely love it. Lauren, like I'm literally like I haven't even had my tea this morning. And Lauren, like her zen is just it just has me like just really calm and relaxed. I was a little tardy to starting the podcast this morning, and she was like, "No, it's completely fine. It's okay." Like, so I truly appreciate her patience. But folks, y'all know that I am very passionate when it comes to technology. I'm a very passionate when it comes to our partnering relationships. Reaching out to Lauren, and she responded, and it immediately have a preliminary phone call to discuss like the possibility and what this would look like when we have the podcast. But as always, we just have a conversation, and I definitely have guests here that would add value to not only me and what I'm doing, but to our partnering relationships, the real estate agents, especially because that's who we market to at NPR Title. But at any time you have any questions about any type of technology, uh, trust me, I have went up and down Foyer.AI's website trying to understand and absorb, and I will constantly ask questions. So if you're an agent in the Texas area, in the DFW area, especially, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and we can go do it together. But make your listing stand out, and help your clients see that you're going to get their house sold, and you're going to get their house sold by what? Using technology. And yeah, we're gonna win. We're in this together, and we're going to forge technology on everyone. So we can just really just be thought leaders in industry and to change how things are done. But anyway, we can go on and on and on. We truly appreciate you visiting the podcast again, and we hope you subscribe, like. I never say that. Subscribe, like, you share it, and be sure to listen each and every Tuesday. We release a new episode each Tuesday. If you would like to be a guest on Tommy Talks, the podcast, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach me at tommy@mprtitle.com or give me a phone call. My phone number is public, so don't hesitate to reach out. But as always, I'll see you in the closing room as soon as that title clears.